So hey, it's day 7. We're hiking all the way from Hogpen to Unicoi Gap, and this will either be glorious or it'll be the biggest mistake of the hike so far. So we'll see if we can make 14.4 miles and over 3,000 feet. What's your trail name?
I don't have a trail
Okay,
name.
what's your name?
Brock. My name is Brock.
Brock?
Yeah, Brock. B-R-O-C.
Brock.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm from here, or I'm from Tennessee. Come down here.
What part of Tennessee?
Middle Tennessee, Sparta.
Yeah, Sparta. I know Sparta. I'm
Yep.
from Chattanooga.
Oh yeah?
Okay, yeah, cool. So is Brock short for something?
No, that's my middle name.
Awesome,
Yep.
cool. And so you're hiking from Hogpen to Unicoi.
I'm hiking for today, but I'm going to go on up to Deep Creek.
Okay.
So I'm doing 47 miles total. So
All right,
I'm
cool.
going to be on trail.
Is your section?
That's my section.
Awesome.
Yep.
Great to meet
So
you, man.
I'm starting this morning. Hopefully be done by Sunday.
Awesome, cool. All right, the start of day 7. So, yeah, we made a small change in our plans yesterday. We were gonna end up at a tent site called Low Gap, about 4 miles up off of Hogpen Gap, where we ended up. We decided to just, we found out that they had pulled someone out of Low Gap with the norovirus, and we decided that was kind of unfortunate. We didn't really want to stay there now, and so we had a short day yesterday and ended at Hogpen. Went back to the van, and but that meant today would be a longer day. We had to make it all the way from Hogpen to Unicoi Gap. That's 14.4 miles, which is a little longer than I wanted to do in the early stages of this hike. So we're 7 days in, and that's too early to really have your trail legs. And so it's a bit of a gamble. I mean, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, it's a cool morning. Sun will come out, and it'll probably get pretty warm today again. Yesterday it got in the 80s. It was pretty warm. So yeah, spent last night, we went down to town, did some video editing where we had service, and it turns out that my video editing software didn't work without internet, which I didn't know. So we parked at a park downtown in this town and did some editing for an hour and a half, and then went to a Mexican restaurant, had a good meal, and ended the night in the van. So yeah, here we go for today. One of the things that I've been finding interesting is when talking to fellow thru hikers, the number of them that are just very non-committal and kind of very different than me, where they, you say, well, how far are you going? Where are you going? Are you going all the way to Maine? And a good number of them actually say, well, I'm just going to hike until I don't feel like hiking, or I'm going to go 100 miles and see how I feel, or I don't know. If I feel good, I'll keep going. And it's interesting. I wonder, do those people, at some point transition to where they actually are successful and hike the whole way? Not that whatever they hike isn't a success, but or is that a higher number of the 80% or so dropouts that don't finish? Are those more likely those people that really were never that committed in the beginning and just wanted to hike for the experience to see how far they wanted to go? I don't know. I'm not making a judgment about that. I'm just I find it curious. I guess I expected more, that it would be more uniform, that, oh yeah, we're getting all the way to Maine, even if they end up failing or not, or not getting all the way or not. My understanding is a good number of these people do quit at back at Neal Gap mountain crossings, or at the NOC, which we'll be coming up to in a bit. So you've done 50 miles, 100 miles, and decided this is just not for you, which understandable. Anyways, just musings of the morning. All right, early on day 7, climbing to the top of Sheep Rock top. Don't know where that name came from. I assume there's maybe a rock up here that looks like a sheep, and it's on top. I don't know. I find however they name these places fascinating. So one of the early lessons, one of many early lessons really, well, one of the lessons I've learned is that you got to protect the skin that's exposed to the sun. So I'm wearing long pants and long sleeve shirt, a hat with these flaps on it to set off my ears and neck, shade over my face. The only thing exposed was my hands, and they became, over the last 2 days, very sunburnt, painfully. So I'm now wearing these gloves from Buzz. They loaned me to keep the sun off my hands. Hopefully it will get better. But that was my lesson. All right, so day 7, what are our goals? Well, the main goal today is just to get all the way to Unicoi Gap, that 14.4 miles. A few 2 point something in already. Doing pretty good. I have some confidence, but you know, whenever you slack pack, there's a risk, because when you carry your full pack, worst comes to worst, there's a lot of what they call stealth sites along the trail where you can just stop and put down your tent. You have everything you need. But when you slack pack, you're not bringing a tent, you're not bringing any sleeping equipment, limited gear, so you can't really get caught out here at night. You have to commit to actually getting to the next spot that you committed to, which for us is Unicoi Gap. So that's why it's a goal. We got to get there, and I think we will, but we'll see. So we've come off of Sheep Rock Top Mountain, heading down a little bit, leveling out here. And yeah, so often this trail so far has been grueling and difficult, but there are sections where it's real easy, like this one. Quite pleasant, nice breeze, temp's about 62, and I'm quite liking this. We're down to about a little over 10 miles to go to get to Unicoi, which I'm pretty happy about. I feel like 10 miles and 1,800 feet I could do at this point, so I won't be stuck out here. We do have one big climb before we get to the end, but the ending is downhill, down into Unicoi Gap, and that'll be nice.
And everybody else is like, oh my god. It's way worse than that.
Sometimes the amount of work that they put in to make these trails good is mind-boggling. Fresh blowdown here at the top of whatever this mountain was. We're now just starting our descent. Well, it looks like you could, yeah, it's probably the easiest way with those is just to do this.
Two different strategies.
Yeah. I just think these colors are cool. We walk along here. All right, this is day 7. We've made it just over halfway through our 14.4 mile hike to Unicoi Gap. We stopped to have lunch and take a rest. And once we're done with lunch, we'll get back on the road. Well, we're headed back down the mountain. I think we have another mountain to climb before we're done, but it's almost 1 o'clock. At our present pace, we probably won't be done until after 6. The problem is that there is a storm coming in. It should be here about 3. So it is what it is, of course, as it is on the trail. You have to take whatever is coming, but we may be finishing the day pretty wet. And yeah, not a big deal. Had a good lunch and back and going. All right, we're climbing up Blue Mountain. It's the last big mountain before we climb down to Unicoi Gap. A bit of a blowdown. I'll have to underneath and over and around. Oh, it's kind of sad. The tree was just budding out, and now it's down. Oh well. So coming up the trail, I think we're still climbing Blue Mountain. We're a little ways before a shelter, and then we'll eventually begin the descent down to Unicoi. But the point is we passed an older gentleman. Well, not older compared to me, but you know, he's not a young guy, kind of a big guy, and he was moving. I'm not moving fast, but he was moving much slower than I was. Just 1 foot, 1 foot, 1 foot. It's going to take him a long time to get to the shelter, but anyways, he had lost his Sawyer squeeze water filter, and he asked if I had seen it, and I had not. And so, you know, it started bugging me. We walked probably another half mile on, and I met up with Buzz, and we were talking about it, and Buzz is walking back. Yeah, so Buzz is walking back to give him his water filter, because we have an extra in the van, and we can always go buy more. I don't know how that guy's going to survive without water. Maybe he isn't. Maybe that's why he's walking so slow. He doesn't have water. Yeah. So, yeah, that's what you do. It's raining. Yeah. Yay, slick rocks. Woohoo! Slick rocks. All right. So, yeah, I'm cold in a few places. I'm hot and sweaty in a number of other ones, and I'm basically wet all over and tired. But we are at the top of Blue Mountain. That was the last mountain we had to climb before we descend back down to Unicoi Gap. So we've done, at this point, I don't know, close to 13 miles and over 3,000 feet of elevation gain, which is significant. That's a lot for us, you know, without having got our trail legs yet. So we pushed it. Of course, we're not done yet. We got to get down off the mountain, but pretty proud of us. I think I might even have a shot of Chattanooga bourbon whiskey to celebrate that we did it. Talk to you later. The entire trail down this side of the mountain has been very technical, very slippery. Wet leaves covering rocks. Just a lot of scrambling to get down. So I haven't videoed most of it because I'm busy trying not to die. But there's a little section of it. You can kind of see what I'm talking about. So you have to go from rock to rock and work your way down. And it's time consuming. Well, it takes a little more time, so it slows us down a little bit. Plus it's hard on the feet. Yeah. I mean, it looks cool. But, yeah. You'll be really careful. Some of these rocks move. You don't know which ones. Some are slippery. You don't know which ones. Yeah. I'm gonna get out the phone now. All right, we're mostly off the rocks. There's some nice steps to put in. My thanks to the Georgia rock people. They're awesome. Love meeting them. And yeah, so we're heading down. You can actually see the van and the cars and the road. That'll be Unicoi Gap. So we're making our way down. Like I said, I think we're mostly over the rock scrambles that we had to do. It's getting tiresome. This is pretty easy. You just cruise down. Hard to hold the camera steady, sorry. We're just moving. We're bucking. Mainly because I can't wait for this day to be over. Woo! Yeah. We'll touch back later.
Here come the soggy boys. 14.5 miles with rain for about the last hour.
I'm rethinking life choices. Why? Why did we do this?
So here we are in Helen, Georgia. I gotta figure out what state we're in. We haven't left Georgia yet. Why should that be so hard?
Best part of the day, Helen Georgia, Fat Tire Ale, and a burger.
All right, best part of the day was completing whatever it was, 15 plus miles, and over 2,500 feet of elevation.
26
Yeah,
feet.
which is significant. We weren't 100% sure we could do it, and we did it. Yeah, so that was cool. And second best part of the day would be watered down doers.